Hello and welcome back to Moon Eagle Academy. Today we're going to be talking about spiritual gifts and some of the misconceptions that people have about them. So a lot of people, when I say spiritual gifts, they think of things like clairvoyance, healing, being able to astrally project, being able to manifest things, or, perhaps cast a spell, that sort of things. But that's a very narrow kind of idea of what a spiritual gift can be. And I'm not, knocking any of those gifts at all. Clairvoyance can be very powerful. The ability to do energy healing and energy work can be very powerful. But I think a lot of people then don't think that they have any spiritual gifts. Um, and I want to be very clear that everybody has some form of spiritual gift. Just like everyone has some form of intuition. Some people are more developed in that than others. But I would really like us to think about spiritual gifts as just what we offer to the world and the people around us. So it's not just limited to psychic powers or spiritual powers or what the yogis might call the siddhis. Um, I want you to kind of expand your mind a little bit and start to think of other things. Um, Kindness is a spiritual gift. We've all met people who are just so basically kind, and it is a joy to be around them. Just being in their presence can be very healing and soothing to us. And I really think that kindness is a very underrated spiritual gift, particularly in our world. But it can do so much. We have people who are great listeners. And again, people are like, well, that's not a spiritual gift. But yes, it is. If you are really a great listener, you allow people to be seen and heard and understood. And that alone can be very healing for somebody. Uh, you know, they feel accepted. They feel, like they matter. And those are some very basic needs. Uh, I wrote notes for this and I'm going off script, but, you know, people who can be very encouraging and that, help us accomplish our goals. People who are able to teach. Teaching can be a spiritual gift. Cooking can be a spiritual gift. And if you've never had a delicious meal that is cooked and by someone and has filled it with love, um, you haven't lived. That's all I can say. Uh, so I would really like us to kind of put aside our notions of what spiritual gifts can be, because they can be a lot more than we think they can be. So, ask yourself, have you ever felt truly heard? And think of the person that you felt truly heard by. Have you felt, really accepted for who you are? No strings attached. Have you, have you just been, filled with love in somebody's presence? You know, being being a good friend can be a spiritual gift. I mean, and friendship is, I think, in these days, somewhat of a lost art. We're very connected mentally and through technology, but not as much from the heart, not as much in community. So we have people who can build communities. We have people, that can gardening, that can grow things, that have a green thumb. I think that's a spiritual gift too. You have people that are good with animals, people that are good with children, people are good with old people. Um, so really open up kind of what your idea of what a spiritual gift can be. And once you do that, you're going to start to notice your own spiritual gifts. So that's kind of the part one of this. The second part about this is that just because you have a spiritual gift does not necessarily make you a good person. And I learned this kind of the hard way, about psychic gifts, because there's a lot of time of associating spirituality and psychic giftedness, and those are two very separate things. So you can be an incredible clairvoyant, but you can also be kind of terrible to people. I mean, you can Sometimes you can use that to manipulate or to, you know, get ahead in a way and have like one step in front of somebody else. Um, Same thing with any kind of energy work. If you're an energy, you can use things to manipulate. If you're an empath, even, you understand people's emotions. You can feel their emotions, and then you can use those emotions to manipulate them. So just because somebody is very psychically aware does not necessarily mean that they are morally developed. So that's really important to keep in mind. And keep in mind when you're employing your own gifts, how are you using them? And it's fine to use them to better your own life. But when you do that, just make sure that you're not manipulating others, you're not being cruel, and you're not getting ahead at the expense of somebody else. If you're doing that, odds are you're misusing your spiritual gifts. So I hope that has kind of opened up your eyes, given you a little bit of framework for such things. If you have any questions or comments, or you really disagree or you really agree, leave them down below. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on spiritual gifts. And until next time, peace and blessings. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you want to help support the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. If you'd like to support my work, there are links to my website down below where you can book sessions with me or simply leave a PayPal donation. You can also join my Patreon community for extra perks like weekly prayer ceremonies and monthly group healing events. If you can't afford to do that, you can always just show your support by simply liking the video, leaving a comment, and sharing it on social media. Until next time, peace and blessings.